So, hello everyone, and welcome to Career Launcher. So, in today's class, we are going to discuss a very important topic, and it was demanded a lot also, and that is what we are going to discuss about 1857 revolt, or what we call it as the first war of independence. So, we'll be discussing it in detail, and this can be considered as a part of modern Indian history. So, if I'm audible and visible, please write yes in the comments. War of independence. So, we'll be discussing it in detail, and this. Is my voice clear? If yes, then please write yes in the comments. Okay. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. देखो एक चीज आपको पता होना चाहिए. We have already told you in the past also. First of all, please subscribe to our channel and go to the playlist section. Once you go in the playlist, just hold on for a second, guys. My class has got stuck. Yes. Go to the playlist section, and here is modern Indian history playlist. I am discussing because I've told you that we have seen questions in the past also. Like for example, we have already seen question from civil disobedience movement and Jallianwala Bagh massacre, and in GK. The non-cooperation movement they had asked in English section. Okay. So many of the things which are actually important from modern Indian history point of view, they are being asked in the exam. So that's why this becomes very, very, very important. ठीक है. यहाँ लिखा हो सकता है थंबनेल चेंज हो जाए तो ये नीचे लिखा होगा इंडियन मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री है ना. दिस यू आर सपोज टू वॉच. सो व्यू फुल प्लेलिस्ट पे जाके यू शुड बी वाचिंग ऑल द क्लासेस. नाउ इन दिस पार्ट आल्सो रिवॉल्ट ऑफ 1857 is also very very important that we are going to discuss. So let us discuss today. We are going to discuss about the revolt, है ना. Then we'll discuss of course the causes and the reasons for the revolt and brave Indians who were fighting against British in this. Then we'll be discussing about British officers involved in suppressing the revolt, because sometimes I have seen question from here also. Okay, they're asking about which British officer was there in suppressing the revolt, and causes of suppression means the British successfully suppressed the revolt. So why actually British overpowered actually Indians in suppressing the revolt? So this we are going to discuss. So let us begin with the first one, that is about the revolt of 1857. So when we talk about Indian revolt or Indian rebellion of 1857, it is also called as Ghadar. You know, now Ghadar bhi kehte hain, Ghadar of 1857 or revolt of 1857. So in one line, this was a revolt primarily by Indians against British, right? In one line, I can say, which was almost 90 years before independence, and 1857 revolt, and 100 years after Battle of Plassey. Battle of Plassey happened, in 1757. So after 100 years, we have seen this revolt happening. So this is also called as Revolt of 1857, Sepoy, Mutiny, Indian insurrection. Now, you tell me in the comment section if you know it. Otherwise, you tell me after the class is over. Which person has called the Revolt of 1857 as first war of independence? Please tell me. Okay. If you know it, please tell me. Which person has called Revolt of 1857 as first war of independence? Now, first thing. Second thing is, when we are talking about it, this was primarily in central India and upper Gangetic Plain. Okay, this is also important that, because we'll be discussing it. So these are the regions where the revolt of 1857 happened. Okay. So if you see it carefully, there is Satara in Maharashtra. Other than that, if you see, generally it was actually in North India, North and Central India, limited to that. Hai na? Not much in South India or Northeast India, etc. No. Subhash Chandra Bose, no. Who said first war Indian revolt of 1857 as first war of independence? Go and find out. Okay. It is not Subhash Chandra Bose, someone else. Okay. Fine. Now, when we talk about the incident, actually, when it started, so there are two opinions. Yes, CLAT aspirant, you're right. V.D. Savarkar, right? Rohi Verma, you're also right. He said that 1857 revolt is first war of independence, right? Okay. So actually hota kya, there are two incidents. One, people say that the revolt of 1857 started on 10th May 1857 from Meerut, revolt in Meerut. And Bengal infantry was there in Meerut, from where actually the revolt happened. Some people say that no, even before that also, actually we had actually the revolt, which should be considered as a part of 1857 revolt. That's called as Barrackpore revolt. Yes, yesterday, yes, Ansh, I was actually on leave, so I've come back today. So let's talk about Barrackpore revolt led by Mangal Pandey. Okay. So basically, it is said that just before 1857 revolt, this incident happened on 8th April 1857. Now, what exactly it is? So first of all, let me show you where exactly it is. So this is modern day West Bengal, है ना? Somewhere here, यहाँ तक, है ना? This is Kolkata, so just north of Kolkata somewhere, है ना? Few kilometers, I think 15-20 kilometers, you will find this Barrackpore. And the name itself says there was a military cantonment. है ना? Barrack मतलब ये होता है. ठीक है. So what happened was actually the revolt against, it was Mangal Pandey was also a junior Sepoy, I think, है ना? Or posted in this cantonment, and he led the revolt against the British. है ना? He joined Bengal Army. है ना? He was a private soldier Sepoy in the 5th Company of 34th Bengal Native Infantry. Okay. So he died on 8th April, but revolt happened, I think, in March. है ना? 29th March 1857. है ना? है ना? So the revolt led in that Barrackpore region, and there are reasons we'll discuss about the reasons in detail. The main reasons were what? So we'll be talking about that. But that was the incident happened on 29th March 1857. The Barrackpore military cantonment near Kolkata, led by Mangal Pandey, openly rebelled. So they started attacking the British, and these two officers actually were the one who suppressed this, and later on Mangal Pandey was arrested and hanged. So that is what taught in class 8, right? Huh? Yes, Ansha. So these were the British officers. Okay, na, just have an idea. Utna detail nahi jana, but that is a rough idea I have given you. Now let us talk about the main incident. So the main incident is Meerut Mutiny. Okay. Now this is generally considered as the beginning of 1857 revolt. Some people say that Barrackpore revolt was also a part of it. Some say that Meerut Mutiny is considered as the beginning of that. So Meerut Mutiny started on 10th May 1857. Okay, what happened? So अब देखोगे यहाँ पे दिल्ली है, दिल्ली के पास यहाँ पर मेरठ है, I think less than 70-80 kilometers away. ठीक है, हाँ. This is New Delhi. This is Meerut in West Uttar Pradesh. ठीक है. Okay, what happened is here actually there is a Bengal infantry, so there is a military unit which actually revolted against British. They killed the British officers and they started walking from Meerut till New Delhi. So on 10th May 1857, they did the revolt in Meerut, and next day on 11th May they reached the junior sepoys. Actually, senior officers were always British, but all the junior people were junior military men were of course Indian. So they revolted in 1857 revolt in Meerut. They did the revolt, and they started moving from Meerut to New Delhi. Yes, MK Anirudh, you're right. Very good. Absolutely correct. We'll be coming to that. What you are writing about the incident. Okay, so they reached New Delhi, and there was a very weak last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar. And they came and they said, okay, you are my ruler. We are declaring you as Shah of Hindustan. So these revolted soldiers, actually, they came to Delhi. Because they thought there is no sort of a leader who should be made leader. So he's called as Bahadur Shah II or Bahadur Shah Zafar. But he had become very old, very weak, and very less powerful, because British were very much powerful. And I'm sure you must be aware, I had taught in this class what Bahadur Shah Zafar is actually buried in Yangon or Rangoon, because after the revolt was crushed, actually he was arrested, sent to Rangoon, and then he died there. Okay. So we're talking about this. So the Meerut Mutiny happens 10th, 11th May 1847. So on British, here is British, and there is rebel sepoys. Now, so first thing is, which I have already discussed, is it was primarily in northern India, except some places in Maharashtra, but primarily northern or central India region. This region, because we'll be talking about it when we'll be talking about suppression of revolt. We'll be talking about this. ठीक है, ये हो गया. है ना. बहादुर शाह जफर, ये इतना डिटेल नहीं जाना. ठीक है, that's more than enough for you. He was later arrested, है ना, Yangon, and sent to Rangoon. देखो अब था क्या, he was actually, his empire was very limited at that time. When 11th May 1857 को people the soldiers reached Delhi, his empire was very much limited to Red Fort and Palam area. कुछ area Palam का और कुछ area Delhi का, बस small area. ठीक है, a very small area was actually controlled by Bahadur Shah Zafar, and that I mean because British had become very powerful and all, है ना. Was it because yes, Ansh, we are coming to that, उस पर हम लोग आते हैं अभी. देखो, this is the place, this is AI generated. I asked the AI and they have given me. Okay, let me. है ना. So here is Delhi. आप देख रहे हो मेरठ, अवध is लखनऊ, है ना, कानपुर, झांसी, ग्वालियर, है ना. सो दिस आजमगढ़, जगदीशपुर, दीज आर द प्लेस. तो मोस्टली अगर आप देखोगे ये इसी रीजन में ऑल द रिवॉल्ट हैपन. ठीक है. सो लेट मी शो. सो हियर इज दिल्ली, दिस इज मेरठ, है ना. तो और मैं दिखाऊंगा जैसे अवध, अवध इसको कहते थे, अवध ऐसे लिखते थे, या OUDH, है ना. ठीक है. फिर यहाँ पे बरेली, यहीं पे पड़ेगा बरेली एंड ऑल. फिर यहाँ पे कहीं पे झांसी होगा, है ना, मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, उत्तर प्रदेश बॉर्डर पे. ठीक है. और यहाँ पे कहीं पे बैरकपुर है, वी हैव डिस्कस्ड. फिर एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, पटना के वेस्ट में आरा, जगदीशपुर. आरा ऐसे भी लिखते हैं, कभी कभी ऐसे लिखते हैं, ARRAH, कभी कभी ऐसे लिखते हैं, जगदीशपुर. आपने भोजपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का नाम सुना होगा, भोजपुरी लैंग्वेज. सो भोजपुर डिस्ट्रिक्ट इज फ्रॉम देयर, आरा. खैर, सो दैट इज व्हाट अ रफ आइडिया आई हैव गिवन यू अबाउट 1857 रिवॉल्ट. नाउ लेट अस कम टू द रीजन. सो व्हाट आर द कॉजेस ऑफ द 1857 रिवॉल्ट? सो द फर्स्ट इज पॉलिटिकल. आपको पता होगा कि ब्रिटिश वर डूइंग एक्सपेंशन. They were actually capturing many territories by various means, है ना. So subsidiary alliance एक बहुत famous था. We are not going in that detail, but yes, I'm sure you must have heard subsidiary alliance. ये कोई ना कोई बहाना बना के capture कर लेते थे. They were actually trying to do that. One important event was doctrine of lapse, which was the concept given by Lord Dalhousie. What was that? Can anyone tell me? Against this, Rani Lakshmibai fought. What was that? Doctrine of lapse. Can anyone tell me? क्या था? देखो, doctrine of lapse was the concept given by Lord Dalhousie, 1848 to 1856. He was the Viceroy of India or Governor General of India. ठीक है. Yes, Ansh, very good. You're right. हाँ. देखो, सबसे पहले तो ये क्लास मैंने आपको बोला है, मॉडर्न इंडिया स्ट्रीम जाके ये वाले गवर्नर जनरल वाली क्लास, यू शुड वॉच इट, वेयर वी हैव डिस्कस्ड अबाउट लॉर्ड डलहौजी, लॉर्ड कैनिंग एटसेट्रा. ठीक है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस इज जस्ट बिफोर द रिवॉल्ट, सो 1848 to 1856, लॉर्ड डलहौजी वाज देयर एंड ही वाज इंपीरियलिस्टिक. He used to capture a lot of kingdoms, है ना. So he came up with the concept of doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse said that if you are having a princely state, आप किसी स्टेट के राजा हो, किंग और क्वीन, and you do not have a biological son, then after your death we will capture your territory will be captured by British, will be lapsed, है ना. वही हुआ, बात हुई. अगर आपका अपना बेटा नहीं, मींस इफ यू हैव, सो रानी झांसी हैड एन अडॉप्टेड सन, है ना. सो शी वांटेड कि दामोदर राव, है ना, द अडॉप्टेड सन शुड बी गिवन द शुड बी द सक्सेसर ऑफ द किंगडम इन द झांसी, है ना. कि मेरा अपना बेटा नहीं है लेकिन अडॉप्टेड सन है, हम चाहते हैं कि उसको देने के लिए, है ना. फॉलोइंग द डेथ ऑफ हर हस्बैंड राजा गंगाधर राव, रानी लक्ष्मीबाई ऑफ झांसी वांटेड, शी हैड एन अडॉप्टेड सन एंड वांटेड दामोदर राव टू बी द हर सक्सेसर, है ना. तो उसके बाद क्या हुआ कि the British said, doctrine of lapse says that you have to give the territory to us. So then Rani Lakshmibai protested, मैं अपनी झांसी नहीं दोगी. And they became she was one of the reason for revolt of 1847. She revolted against British. Okay, now that is what one example. ठीक है. तो आपको समझना क्या, सबसे पहले जो whatever the locations I'm telling you, the target was again the British. Revolt was against British, but the causes were different. मतलब ब्रिटिश से सारे लोग नाराज थे, बट वजह अलग थी. Some because of doctrine of lapse, some because of religious interference, some because of, let's say, annexation for some other reasons, some because of Greece cartridges, which we are going to discuss. तो अलग अलग सिटी में अलग अलग नाराजगी थी, है ना. All were actually unhappy with the British because of some reason or the other. The reason might not be the same, but the main target was British. ठीक है. So, like for example, in case of Rani Lakshmibai, we are having doctrine of lapse. ठीक है. I hope it's clear. Similarly, can anyone tell me who was the Governor General of India when 1857 revolt happened? गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया, गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया में लॉर्ड कैनिंग, ठीक है, ठीक है, यस, वेरी गुड, आई एम क्लियर। हाँ, इसे पूछते हैं एग्जाम में, ठीक है। फिर नेक्स्ट एक और एग्जाम्पल है अवध का। अवध वही लखनऊ को कहते थे। सो दैट वाज कंट्रोल्ड बाय नवाब वाजिद अली शाह। So Nawab Wajid Ali Shah. So British captured it or annexed it, saying that maladministration, that you are not governing it properly. That's why we are actually controlling your Lucknow. Okay. And this led to mass unemployment, nobles and landlords lost privileges, many peasants, है ना, were जो local handicrafts होते थे उन लोग को they were destroyed, है ना, because British were not concerned about promoting local handicrafts, etc. है ना. So common people को they did not give employment. They all those stuffs they bought from their own country. तो ये हो गया. So actually there was multiple reasons also. तो एक अवध हो गया, एक there were other cities also and there were other reasons, but I have just discussed two. ठीक है, खासकर रानी लक्ष्मीबाई is very famous. नेक्स्ट इकोनॉमिक क्राइसिस मैंने आपको बता दिया, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इंडियन हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स. तो पहले क्या होता, जो प्रिंसली स्टेट्स के जो राजा होते थे, द किंग्स एंड द क्वींस ऑफ द प्रिंसली स्टेट्स, और दे यूज्ड टू प्रमोट दीज, है ना, हैंडीक्राफ्ट्स, वीवर्स, ट्रेडिशनल इंडस्ट्रीज को. बट व्हेन ब्रिटिश केम, उन्होंने कहा कि हम काय को लेंगे. सो दे सेड एक्चुअली कि व्हाट दे डू, जैसे वो सारा कुछ ऑल दोस क्लोथ्स एंड अदर थिंग्स दे यूज्ड टू ब्रिंग फ्रॉम इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन. आपको बताओ कि इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन स्टार्टेड इन 1750 इन इंग्लैंड. So since then they started buying all those, so bringing all those clothes and other products from England. Okay, and they were not interested in promoting local traditional actually industries of India. So इससे क्या हुआ, unemployment, massive unemployment. सब लोग बेरोजगार हो गए. So that also became one of the reason for anger. कि हमारे लिए तो कुछ छोड़े ही नहीं. So market British, and what they used to do, they used to manipulate the taxes. For example, if British goods is coming, they will actually have very less tax. But if Indian goods is going, they will actually manipulate the tax in such a way that the tax will be costly, so as to demote the Indian goods and promote British goods. Yes, drain of wealth theory, right? तो ये लोग मैनिपुलेट करते थे. फिर है लैंड रेवेन्यू पॉलिसी. Wherever there was actually agriculture land, जहां भी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड होता था, है ना, they used to charge very high, exorbitantly high taxes. लैंड आपने सुना होगा, परमानेंट सेटलमेंट एक्ट, रैयतवाड़ी, महलवाड़ी, these two are actually mentioned in NCERT also, है ना, क्लास 12 NCERT book mentioned भी परमानेंट सेटलमेंट एक्ट by लॉर्ड कॉर्नवालिस, है ना, we have there, which was in Bengal, modern day Bengal region, जिसको जमींदारी सेटलमेंट एक्ट भी कहते हैं. So basically bottom line was the land revenue was very high. So peasants की तो हालत ही खराब हो गई. So peasants were very much angry. They are not able to pay the taxes, है ना, and we had seen famines, poverties were very much prevalent. बहुत ज्यादा famines आए उस टाइम पर. And of course, Dada Bhai Naroji, that's why he gave the concept of drain of wealth. He wrote a book called as Poverty and British Rule in India, है ना, उस टाइम पर बहुत फेमस हुआ था. बाद में लिखा, later on he wrote the book in India, but you should know about his book, है ना, after the revolt. Social and religious causes, this is also very important. Now हुआ क्या कि a lot of places where British tried to intervene in the religious or customs of Indians. For example, they brought abolition of sati 1829, widow remarriage act 1856, promotion of western education. So basically it was not liked by Indians. In what sense? That if there is any social evil, we will try to eliminate by ourselves. You should not be intervening in our matters. बहुत सारे लोगों को ये बात पसंद नहीं आई कि they used to bring a lot of laws. Okay, I'm coming up with a lot of reforms, है ना, कि abolition of sati, I'm coming up with widow remarriage act, I'm promoting. So they said कि okay, if there is any, so that's why it was not liked by Indians that British were interfering in our religious and social matters. Okay, and there were incidents of actually Christian missionaries also coming, so which criticized Indian customs. So of course that was also not liked by the local Indians. And I'm sure you must be aware, we have seen English Education Act of 1835. You know that, है ना. So that was as a result of Macaulay's minute, है ना. So the first law commission was set up. I mean, I'm sure you must be aware, first law commission of India was set up in 1833. Macaulay recommended English education. We are learning today, है ना, because one of the reason is English Education Act 1835 Englishized everything in India. So ये भी बहुत से लोगों को नहीं पसंद आया, है ना, कि why are you actually pushing us to read English and English related things and all. ठीक है. Then social distance and racial arrogance. Yes. So British के साथ एक और होता है within the military also. जो भी ऑफिशियल्स होते थे, ऑफिसर्स होते, they were all British. नीचे जूनियर लेवल वेयर इंडियंस, इंडियन सेपॉयज जो जूनियर लेवल के होते थे, एंड ऑल द ऑफिसर्स वेयर ब्रिटिश. एंड द ट्रीटमेंट टुवर्ड्स जूनियर वाज वेरी गुड बैड. वो एकदम एरोगेंस में रहते, लाइक अपने जूनियर को अच्छे से ट्रीट भी नहीं करते थे, है ना. और हायर एजुकेशन तो, हायर रैंक तो मिलेगा नहीं, है ना. एंड डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, मैसिव डिस्क्रिमिनेशन वाज देयर. रेशियल एरोगेंस दे यूज्ड टू एक्चुअली, आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव हर्ड इट, ये सब आपने देखा होगा मूवीज वगैरह में भी. So this is what the reason was. Military causes, एक law था General Services Enlistment Act. So basically under this, the military personnel, the junior military personnel were supposed to go overseas in outside India. And there were a lot of belief that of course if you cross the sea you will lose actually the caste purity etc. तो ये सब लोगों को पसंद नहीं आता था. You are sending us outside the country and all. और एक और one of the reason for revolt was British officer बहुत कम होते थे. Very few British officers and very large number of junior sepoys which were Indians. So if they will unite to revolt, they can, like, if they properly unite, then of course it will be a strong setback to the British, है ना. हाँ, prospect of promotion है bleak, yes रोही. हाँ, so immediate cause, अब ये है सबसे main. There are multiple reasons, है ना. There are एक और भी था, Lex Loci Act भी था. खैर उतना आपको डिटेल में नहीं जाना है. If you are interested you can read it, है ना. Another, the most important is immediate. उस टाइम पर जो रीजन था वो Enfield Drive controversy. That is actually the most important event that led to Meerut revolt. जो मेन जो स्पार्क लगा वो इस वजह से होता है ना, कि नाराजगी बहुत दिन से चली आ रही है. There are lot of reasons for the anger, but suddenly the anger broke out. देखो होता क्या है, there were पहले ये वाला गन यूज होता था मिलिट्री में in British, है ना. So we are talking about Meerut cantonment, है ना. Meerut cantonment, military cantonment. उसके बाद ब्राउन बेस से Enfield राइफल हो गया. It was brought. इस Enfield राइफल में grease cartridges were used. Greased cartridges. Cartridges मतलब बंदूक की गोलियों कहते हैं. Okay. Now the problem was I got this, like ये इस तरह का आपको नेट में मिल जाएगा. So ये जो cartridges होता था ना, उसको बंदूक में लगाने से पहले दांत से नोचना पड़ता था. You have to peel it off from the teeth. Then only you are supposed to put it here and then fire. दांत से नोचना होता था. Now what was the problem? The message that got spread was that these grease cartridges were either made of cow fat or pig fat. So cow fat, of course, it will not be liked by Hindus, and pig fat, it was considered as unclean by Muslims. So basically, when the message got spread कि ये जो बंदूक की गोली है ये तो इससे बना हुआ है, cow और pig fat से बना हुआ है, तो इसको आप दांत से कैसे नोचोगे? If it is unclean, you cannot like touch it with the mouth or with the teeth. तो आप दांत से नोच के उसको बंदूक में नहीं लगाओगे. So people actually said कि नहीं, this is against our religious belief, and of course it is actually considered as unsacred. We cannot do this. ये हम लोग नहीं कर सकते. And that was the main reason for the revolt of Meerut, है ना. So it started from Meerut on 10th May 1857. Sorry, sir. No problem, Sambhav Sharma. You can watch the recorded video. Did the rebels have a substantial proof? नहीं, proof तो I'm not sure कि proof था कि नहीं, but message ये spread हुआ था पूरे कैंटोनमेंट में कि वो जो बंदूक की गोली है, यानी जो कैटरिज है, वो चाहे तो पोर्क का बना है, चाहे तो बीफ का बना हुआ है, और वो of course it is not considered as sacred. और भी दांत से नोच करके डालना होता था. You have to peel it off from the tongue, from the mouth, है ना. Sacred मतलब होता है, sacred मतलब होता है religiously important, है ना. पवित्र, जिसको हम लोग हिंदी लिखते हैं ना, पवित्र, ऐसे लिखते हैं ना, पवित्र. So basically, so nobody will like of course, if है ना, there was news that it was either made of beef or cow fat or pig fat. इसको pork लिखते हैं. So pork was of course not liked by Muslims. They cannot eat it. It is prohibited. Similarly, there is prohibition. You cannot actually slaughter the cow and eat the meat in Hinduism. So that's why it was not liked by both the parties. Okay, so that was very much in the news. Now, उसके बाद क्या हुआ, जो revolt happened? So I've told you there were multiple reasons. जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, मेरठ में one of the reason was grease cartridges. ठीक है. जैसे similarly यहाँ पे झांसी reason was we have discussed this doctrine of lapse. Yes. Similarly, there are other reasons. And Lucknow mein, Nawab Wajid Ali Shah's actually territory was captured by British on the context of mal administration. कि आप ठीक से सरकार नहीं चला रहे हो, है ना? So there were multiple reasons, but the main target was actually in uh, against the British, and it was limited to North India. तो अब देखो जैसे leaders and the places of revolt ये पूछते हैं एग्जाम में, मैंने देखा कई सारे एग्जाम में पूछते हैं. So Meerut, we have told you है ना. So the revolt happened, but it was a Bengal infantry. Infantry जो थी Bengal infantry थी, लेकिन मेरठ वेस्ट उत्तर प्रदेश में the revolt happened, है ना. Next Delhi में they came to Delhi, the same people. So Bahadur Shah too was the main leader, or Bahadur Shah Zafar we call Bahadur Shah Zafar, and General Bakht Khan were there. ठीक है. इसमें सप्रेसर में जो थे ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर जॉन निकोलसन, इनका नाम कहीं कहीं पे आता है. नेक्स्ट इस कानपुर में नाना साहब एंड तांतिया तोप, इनका भी एक अलग स्टोरी, सो आई एम नॉट गोइंग इन दैट डिटेल, बहुत लंबा हो जाएगा. नाजिमुल्लाह खान, सो नाना साहब एंड तांतिया तोप वेरी फेमस, है ना. एंड कॉलिन कैम्पबेल एंड जनरल हैवलॉक वाज देयर एज ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर हु वर सप्रेसिंग द रिवोल्ट. सिमिलरली लखनऊ में नवाब वाजिद अली शाह's वाइफ बेगम हजरत महल एंड हिज सन बर्जिस कादिर वाज द सन ऑफ वाजिद अली शाह. Okay, so Henry Lawrence, Havelock and Colin Campbell. मेन जो थे हेनरी लॉरेंस थे, the officer was involved in that, है ना. रानी लक्ष्मीबाई, है ना, झांसी. सर हुग्रोस, ये किसी एग्जाम में पूछा था, मैं देख रहा था प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन. Who was the British officer who actually suppressed the revolt in झांसी? Okay, so again ग्वालियर में हम देखो यहाँ पे भी तांतिया तो मैं रानी लक्ष्मीबाई, ठीक है, सर हुग्रोस, ठीक है. So main रानी लक्ष्मीबाई was from झांसी, but that's what you should know. तो ये वाला आप स्किप भी कर सकते हो. एक्चुअली तांतिया तो के लिए दोनों जगह है, कानपुर भी लिखते हैं कहीं कहीं पे, ग्वालियर भी लिखते हैं, बोथ प्लेसेस, ठीक है. बरेली में खान बहादुर, वेस्ट उत्तर प्रदेश में ही जगह है ना, बरेली. कॉलिन कैम्पबेल वाज देयर, ब्रिटिश ऑफिसर. बिहार जगदीशपुर आरा, ये मैंने आपको बताया, ये और ये सेम ही है, ठीक है. आरा, है ना, जगदीशपुर, वीर कुमार सिंह, है ना. सो दैट्स व्हाट यू शुड नो, है ना. विंसेंट एयर देख रहे हो, और विलियम टेलर भी थे. फैजाबाद विच इज नॉट टुडे कॉल्ड एज अयोध्या, Molvi Ahmadullah Shah, Colonel Campbell was the British officer. Here we have discussed है ना, बैरकपुर का मंगल पांडे, and Allahabad. इतना काफी है, that is more than enough. I'm not sure about that, Ansh Dayal, जो आप बता पूछ रहे हो, I'm not sure about that, so I won't be commenting. इसको को देखना पड़ेगा. Now, British officer मैंने आपको बताया सबसे मेन जो थे वो जगह गवर्नर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया. So who was the governor general of India when 1857 revolt happened? So the answer is Lord Canning. फिर बाकी जो कॉलिन कैम्पबेल, हग रोज, ये सब प्रोमिनेंट. हेनरी लॉरेंस लखनऊ में थे, है ना. जॉन निकोलसन, दीज आर प्रोमिनेंट पर्संस एंड ऑल, प्रोमिनेंट, ये सब थोड़े प्रोमिनेंट नेम्स हैं, जिसको 2-3 बार देख लीजिएगा बिकॉज दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. देखो मैंने आपको एक चीज हाईलाइट भी करा दी कि जो ये रीजन है ना, इसी में 1857 रिवोल्ट हुआ था. आप देख सकते हो, दिस इज दिल्ली, यहाँ पे कहीं पे मेरठ होगा, बरेली, है ना, कानपुर, ग्वालियर, लखनऊ, अयोध्या, फैजाबाद जिसको पहले कहते थे, है ना. फिर यहाँ कोलकाता, यहाँ पे कहीं पे बैरकपुर होगा, और यहाँ पे कहीं पे झांसी होगा, यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ नहीं आ रहा, बट झांसी, ठीक है. सो प्रोमिनेंट लोकेशंस वेयर रिवोल्ट हैपेंड, अब देखोगे तो इसी रीजन में, नॉर्थ इंडिया प्राइमरीली. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज रीजन फॉर द सक्सेसफुल सप्रेशन ऑफ द रिवोल्ट. सो आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट बी अवेयर. तो पहली बात तो लैक ऑफ यूनिटी इसलिए नहीं थी कि बिकॉज देयर वर डिफरेंट प्रिंसली स्टेट्स एंड देयर द रीजन फॉर फाइट वाज डिफरेंट, है ना. Some was fighting because of doctrine of lapse, some was fighting because of let's say grease cartridges. तो वो था, है ना. And in fact many rulers and zamindars actually did not support the revolt. ये भी हुआ था. These are the things, है ना. And Bahadur Shah Zafar was very weak at that time. Limited geographical spread, I've told you, north and central India only, है ना. Not in Punjab, Bengal में बहुत ज्यादा नहीं था, South Indian princely states में उतना नहीं हुआ. Okay, not very much. So primarily in northern and central India, है ना. Many Indian rulers जो थे actually they supported actually the British, or I would say they did not support the revolt of 1857 revolt. तो ऐसा भी हुआ था. That is what. Lack of central leadership, of course. There was no feeling of Indianness technically because there were princely states. So unity का concept उतना नहीं था कि united as a one country. That concept was not that very much strong. ठीक है, तो उतना proper coordination नहीं हुआ. That was the suppression of the revolt. Weak military organization, of course, ये कोई one military तो थे ही नहीं. One military of Indian workers, ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं था ना. They were all like those who revolted, they were part of British army. है ना. So Jarani Lakshmibai, she had princely estates, तो वो तो limited region में होगा ना, ऐसे नहीं होगा पूरे entire India में there was one organization which was fighting against British, है ना. Modern weapon shortage, of course technologically British was way ahead. British proper training, disciplining equipped थे, है ना. British actually, yes, ये important है. Railways, telegraph, postal, all were controlled by British, which was helpful in message sending information fast. तो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह मैसेज भेजना है कि देखो, लेट्स से फॉर एग्जांपल लखनऊ सिटी में रिवॉल्ट हो गया, सो लोग फॉरेन मैसेज भेजें कोई और सिटी में कि प्लीज सेंड अस मिलिट्री यूनिट. तो वो इन्फॉर्मेशन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है ना, कितना फास्ट आप इन्फॉर्मेशन भेजते हो. रेलवे, टेलीग्राफ, पोस्टल, उस जमाने में यही होता था. देयर वाज नो व्हाट्सएप और देयर वाज नो इंटरनेट, ईमेल और समथिंग लाइक दैट, और फोन कॉल. सो दीज थिंग्स एक्चुअली हेल्प ब्रिटिश, है ना. एंड रेलवेज ऑफ कोर्स हेल्प देम मूव क्विकली, एंड द ट्रूप्स एटसेट्रा. फिर फाइनेंशियली ऑफ कोर्स ब्रिटिश वर वेरी मच पावरफुल. They had actually collected a lot of revenue. They had support from Britain. Financially very powerful. So, जब financially powerful होंगे तो they can do anything. Finances is very important, है ना. And there are actually some of the soldiers actually, not all the soldiers revolted against British, है ना. So ये भी था. So these things were actually there. So British used brutal repression, and that's why 1857 revolt was suppressed. Okay. And उसके बाद क्या होता है? There was a law that was passed, Government of India Act 1858. Please read about it. This is very important. And after that, Governor General of India का नाम जो है वाइसरॉय हो जाता है. The name got changed to Viceroy. ठीक है. I've asked you also already the first war of independence. Who said 1857 revolt is first war of independence? V.D. Savarkar. Okay, just have an idea. Okay. Now, I'm asking a previous year question. Before 1911 or 12, the capital of India was Kolkata. Okay. So where actually Viceroy used to live in which building? That was asked in CLAT 2023, held in December 2022. बताओ. In which building Viceroy used to live in Kolkata? So before 1911-12, it was Kolkata or Calcutta, you can say. After that, they shifted to Delhi. So Delhi में what we call today as Rashtrapati Bhavan, है ना. At that time, it was Viceroy's building. ठीक है. Kolkata में it was called as Belvedere House. This was asked in the exam. ठीक है. Pat 2023 asked this question. ठीक है. And sometimes in cold, they used to move to Shimla in summer, है ना. What we call it as summer capital. And today you will find Viceroy's Lodge there also in Shimla. Today it is called as Institute of Advanced Studies करके कुछ है. IIAS, Institute of Advanced Studies there in Shimla. That is where the Viceroy's Lodges. ठीक है. So that is what I think we have discussed in detail. Please go to the playlist and watch all the classes of modern Indian history. View whole course के बारे में जाके देख लेना. For example, this one is important, and we have seen questions from, है ना, past. This is non-cooperation movement where we have seen question in English in CLAT last year, CLAT 2026. And similarly, civil disobedience movement where we have seen question. Jallianwala Bagh, we have seen GK में PYQ. ठीक है. So that's what you should be knowing. Civil disobedience movement where we have seen question. So we are stopping this class here. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, share this video. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching.